father of so many children. Hello? Hello? About 1,000. Hello, Sangman.
Recording in progress.
ओके लगता है आधे आके ज्वाइन कर लेंगे, है ना? स्टार्ट कर दे सर। हाँ, बिकॉज 4 बजे था ना टाइम। हाँ हाँ, शेख साहब ज्वाइन कर लेंगे।
Sir, he is
कोई दिक्कत नहीं, कोई दिक्कत।
Good evening. It's an honor and privilege to welcome amongst us Honorable Minister for Electronics and IT, Railways, Communications, Shri Ashwini Vaishnaw ji amongst us on the occasion of the launch of the Visvesvaraya PhD Scheme Phase 2. I am also honored to welcome Shri Vijay Raghavan ji, Principal Scientific Advisor, Government of India, on this occasion. We also have amongst us Professor S.V. Raghavan, Chairman, Academic Committee, Visvesvaraya PhD Scheme, Ajay Sani sir, our Secretary MeitY, and lots of and many distinguished professors, directors who have joined virtually on this occasion along with the research scholars. As we all know, Visvesvaraya PhD scheme was launched in 2014 with an objective to create 1,000 PhD scholars in various emerging fields related to electronics and IT. In the last few years, 97 institutions across 25 states and 4 union territories have been implementing this scheme. We have had great response from all the assessments and the reviews in this scheme. Our research scholars have published patents in the published papers in most reputed international journals, as also got patents in various fields. And with the assessment, it was felt that this scheme has not only helped in improving the research capabilities of our scholars, but has also led to improvement in the infrastructure that is made available in our various academic institutions, and also helped the young faculty members to hone their research skills. So with that in objective and with the feedback from the assessment committee report, the phase 2 of the scheme was proposed, which has been approved recently and which will be launched today by our Honorable Minister, which seeks to support 1,000 full-time PhD candidates, 150 part-time PhD candidates, 50 young faculty research scholarships, and 225 postdoctoral fellowships in the period to come. Robust research ecosystem in MeitY to give a brief introduction of the PhD scheme.
Thank you, sir. Honorable Minister for Electronics and IT and Communications, Rajeev Chandrasekhar, who will be joining online. So, Padma Shri Awardee Professor K. Vijay Raghavan ji, Principal Scientific Advisor to Government of India and Chairman from Priyam Science and Technology Council. Professor S.C. Raghavan, Chairman Academic Committee of Visvesvaraya PhD Scheme and former Scientific Secretary in the Office. This Haneji, Secretary, Srimati Jyoti Arora ji, Assistant FA, and Dr. Rajendra Kumar, Additional Secretary, MeitY, Shri Abhishek Singh ji, President and CEO, NEGD and MD, Honorable MOS, for gracing the occasion of launch of Shri Mokshagundam Visvesvaraya PhD Scheme, the second phase. Visvesvaraya PhD Scheme for Electronics and IT, with the approval of the Cabinet Committee on Academic Affairs, Economic Affairs, was initiated in 2014 with a budget of rupees 466 crores, with an objective to enhance the number of PhDs in the area of electronics and IT sector, and also the quality of the PhDs who are coming out. So accordingly, in 2015, 16 and 17, 18, total number of around 1,076 students have been enrolled, and finally 1,019 students are pursuing this. Out of this, around 422 are graduated. Another 490 students are still pursuing their PhD and then completing within the next couple of years. So, and also part-time students of around 746 students from various industries located across the country are pursuing, and out of the around 43 has already completed and the remaining are pursuing this. So total, we have around 63 patents which have come out of it and more than 4,000 publications in reputed journals. These are the quality of this program is being monitored continuously by an academic committee consisting of Professor S.V. Raghavan as the chairman and Professor Navkan Bhatt from IISc Bangalore and Professor Prasad Surendra
Sanjeev Prasad.
Sanjeev Prasad, Professor Sanjeev Prasad of IIT Delhi. Professor Sanjeev Prasad is from the family of Master Visvesvaraya. So these people are continuously monitoring the quality of this. The uniqueness of the scheme when compared to any other PhD scheme in this country is this committee calls every 6 monthly 200 of these students into a room and in a workshop, and out of that 20 are they selected and they will present to the committee consisting of 8 people and they will be reviewing their performance of it and give suggestions to improve their quality. And the remaining 180 students are also present along with the respective supervisors. If there are any guidance is required, that will be provided by these key academic eminent scientists of this country. So in August 2018, sir, under the chairmanship of Dr. Arvinda Mitra, Scientific Secretary in the Office of PSCA, the whole scheme was evaluated and based on the recommendations, some of the suggestions have been made and accordingly, based on their recommendation, the second phase has been started. So this Honorable Minister has approved very recently this program, which consisting of 200 fellowships every year. We will take the enrollment. And part-time PhDs are around 150 over a period of 5 years. The young faculty research fellowships who will be anchoring these PhD students to come to bring out some products and startups from these PhD research. That is the main key role of these young faculty members in addition to doing the flagship research in their respective areas. So postdoctoral fellowships are also being introduced this year. Those who have completed PhD abroad or maybe Indians who want to come back, this facility will be given for 1 year so that they can be here and then set up their research facility. And these students, sir, we are giving them facility to go abroad for a few months, 2-3 months, stay there and then get the experience of the world-class laboratories and then come back to continue this research. Because of this, sir, the total dropout rate has been reduced for this. In general, PhD, sir, in India, the drop rate will be around 20 to 25% in other areas overall. And out of this, using this scheme, and the drop rate has been reduced to around 5%. Sir. So that's the main scheme of this program. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Murthy. Now I request Professor S.V. Raghavan, Chairman, Academic Committee, Visvesvaraya PhD Scheme, for his remarks.
Thank you. Honorable Minister, Honorable Principal Scientific Advisor to Government of India, Dr. Murthy, Dr. Ajay Sani, officials of this ministry and other government officials and friends. It has been a great pleasure to be associated with this program, not just from the beginning, from the time it was drafted in the ministry way back in 2012. It became a program in 2014. The unique nature of this program is that it gave impetus to electronics and IT-enabled services at the right time in this country. Where the number of PhDs were very minimal at some point in time, this program enabled the country to leap forward with a very large number of PhDs being produced, and that too with high quality. While Dr. Murthy presented the structure and the strategies that are followed for quality improvement continuously during the program, I would like to touch upon the relevance and the strategic importance of this program for this country, not only in the past 6-7 years, but also going forward, that too in the phase 2. In terms of structure, the introduction of a postdoc program and also a 6-month stint elsewhere in a place of importance and relevance is going to make a huge quality difference in the work that is turned out by these students. what we have observed as a committee across the board, 140 or so institutions and thousands of students, listening to them repeatedly every quarter, we saw that the closeness that was there in the beginning, which was like miles apart, came to nanometer level like in electronics in the last 7 years. People came together just because the conceptual understanding were becoming the same, and the kind of work that institutions were doing were also complementary, and they were aiding each other. And when you look at material science related work, math behind movement of particles inside an atom, coding and information theory related mathematics, absorbing them and bringing out with new materials with new properties, making sensors which are elsewhere unthinkable and make them into action, characterizing them, making use of other investment that Government of India has made in terms of fabs and nano fabs and so on in the country. Many nano fabs for research and development purposes, starting from IISc, which was funded by the Office of Principal Scientific Advisor at that point in time through the ministry. So all these things showed that synergy, that is coherent synergy across programs in Government of India is the way to go. And now going forward, we see that the expansion and continuation, expansion in the sense that you have 200 students year on year being added to this, and the OFRF program, which is unique in any country, brings together the students in an institution or across institutions because they are thematically working on the same thing. And that was a great experience that we had while we had these quarterly exercises. We also had these quarterly exercises with the students and with the YFRFs separately. YFRFs are evaluated also on a basis. And we found that the quality of papers were improving. Like he said, then large number of papers were produced, large number of patents were produced, and so on. The focus came in. And where institutions and students were not aware of patenting process, we introduced that as a session in our quarterly review schemes, where people became aware of it and started following that route, increasing the number of patents that were there. So in short, what has happened in the past has paved the way for encouraging India to start its own fab in a big way in the coming years. And you have the PhDs that are required to run these fabs, man these fabs, and you have the quality manpower required to expand the electronic space in this country, electronics production in this country, and also the innovative space that is available in the sensor and IoTs, that is also expanded because of this program. And usage of all these that is produced by IT and IT-enabled services is again expanded and increased in quality and quantity by the presence of this program. In short, I laud the Ministry of IT, Dr. Murthy and his group, the previous secretary, this secretary, and others who have stood by this program and helped us see this go from growth to growth in the past 7 years. And I hope and wish in the next years to come, this program will do extremely well. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now I request our secretary, Ajay Sani, sir, for his remarks.
I was Honorable Minister, Honorable respected professors, Professor S.V. Raghavan, Professor Vijay Raghavan, Professor Rajat Muna, Professor Uday Desai, Professor Navkant Bhatt, and others who have been associated with this, and our officers here. So I happened to be here when this took shape, so I know a little bit about it. It started with an anxiety. And the anxiety was that we found to our horror that, I dramatize it a little bit, but we found to our horror that while US was producing more than 1,000 PhDs in computer science and allied areas on a regular basis, China was actually doing double that number. And when we counted among all the premier institutions in India, all of them, I think it came to either 56 or 44 or something at that point.
The beginning.
That was the point where it started. And I think it was taken seriously, and the program evolved. It took some time to evolve the program. As Professor Raghavan mentioned, it's 2 years that took to actually roll it out. It's taken wonderful shape. And I would especially, sir, some of the most important foundational activities actually tend to happen below the radar. They are never visible. They just take shape and they grow, and they are nurtured very, very carefully. And continuity is extraordinarily important in that. And that continuity has been provided, especially by professors, Professor S.V. Raghavan, Professor Navkant Bhatt, Professor Sanjeev Prasad, and some of the directors of various IITs, etc., who have participated in this effort. And this is absolutely unique part of this program, the sort of going to different cities, inviting 200 scholars and giving an opportunity to about 20 of them to present. And this is not a simple presentation. It's a rigorous 2-day, typically a 2 days session. And so it's a, and this brings that, stitches it as an umbrella, because typically PhDs tend to be very sort of very specific niche area, and then no one else is able to, other than their guide, or and in conferences they do not get that kind of weaving together. So this weaving together, I think, has been extraordinary. And where we are today, we are very confident that in the next 5 years, this again brings in tremendous strength. It is aligned to the areas of national importance. It is aligned to our goals, which are also in each of the areas we are trying to encourage groups to get formed, because real extraordinary work is never done by an individual. It is done by teams of significant threshold size. And this will help us build teams of that kind of threshold size in many, many institutions. So we have also improved on the design that we have evolved so thus far. And when compared with other schemes which are sort of more generic and more diffused, I think this is much more sharply focused on our overall programs. It's something that I think will make India proud. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to be here to participate in this.
Sir, I just wanted to add one line to what Secretary Sir has said. In the present scheme, we have also tried to bring in convergence. We have tried to bring in industry connect also. The problem statement to come from industry, and also the institutions which we are already having, like CMET and CDAC and SAMEET. There also we are trying to have convergence, so that we are conscious that we are an applied ministry where there is a theoretical research, there is an applied content more to it.
It's a highly sought after. It's something which the institutions really strive for this.
Thank you, ma'am, and thank you, sir. Now I request Shri K. Vijayaraghavan, Principal Scientific Advisor to Prime Minister, for his remarks.
Thank you very much, Abhishek. Namaskar, Mantri ji, Shri Ashwini Vaishnaw, Shri Ajay Sani, Professor S.V. Raghavan, Jyoti Arora, Abhishek Singh, my colleagues Uday Desai and Rajat Mona, and everyone else over here. This, as we have heard, is actually a truly extraordinary program. And it was born out of a crisis where we saw that the numbers of PhDs in computer science, electronics, and IT were very few. And India then had to move from being a provider of services in volume to a generator of quality research and quality ideas and quality products. And this program attempted to deal with that. It has done that well. And now we're going on to the next phase. we have an enormous opportunity and a challenge going forward. And that is illustrated if you look at a map in the country of all our national laboratories of CSIR, DRDO, DAE, DST, DBT, ICAR, ICMR. And these are dotted all over the country. Overlay on this a map of our central universities and IITs. They are also all over the country. Overlay on this a map of all our state universities and high-end colleges. That's also all over the country. So we have a situation which is very extraordinary. Extraordinary capabilities, resources, intellectual and material, abutting, a place next door where there is no connection with research. And so you're walking distance to the best facilities and the best research. You are young, you have extraordinary ambition, but you don't know of this opportunity next door. And these kinds of programs, which are national, actually light that dark fiber of connectivity and bring research into the entire country. So this is something which needs to be pushed even more, where all our research institutes open up as available to all our students who have ambition. And remember today, electronics and IT have two major kinds of component. One which is substantial and requires training and intellectual resources, and the other which requires extraordinary laboratory resources and facilities. And it is the bringing together of these two which is important. The first can rise exponentially, and the second, as under the Mantriji's leadership, is rising exponentially now. The semiconductors industry, the telecom industry, all of that is going to take off enormously. That takeoff needs people of highest quality who both are involved in design, fabless design, but also in manufacturing and understanding systems, circuits, components and everything else. So this kind of program provides leadership of a kind which will develop with great speed, with a very short doubling time, and will have an enormous impact because the leadership for the futuristic programs will not have to be, outsourced and got at high cost and low value from outside, but will be generated over here. We have extraordinary teachers. If you look at some of the courses which our top engineering institutions give, each product of one course, the entire class, ends up in the best design laboratories all over the world. I mean, one course can make a change to that student. Imagine this kind of a program nationally, what it will do. So congratulations, and we look forward to seeing great success from this. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, sir. And now we would request our Honorable Minister, Shri Ashwini Vaishnaw ji, for the launch of the Visvesvaraya PhD scheme by pressing the button.
To enhance the research activities in India and meet the commitments of national policies on electronics and IT, the Visvesvaraya PhD Scheme for Electronics and IT was launched in 2014. The scheme was implemented by Digital India Corporation at 97 institutions in 25 states and 4 union territories to encourage working professionals and young faculty for research in emerging technologies. It has helped develop human capacity in niche areas of electronics and IT, coupled with infrastructure development.
Through my research work on IoT applications for power monitoring, I have developed a product. I have successfully developed the product, and I am commercializing the product with the help of incorporating a startup company, SKIT Technologies, and we are successfully commercializing the product.
The workshop that was conducted by Visvesvaraya PhD Scheme provided me a platform to meet other researchers and learn about their work. And now I have launched my startup to take my research to the market. I am therefore very thankful to Visvesvaraya PhD Scheme.
With regular research review workshops that have helped quality improvement, a good number of patents and research papers in high repute international journals are being reported. It has unanimously been found helpful in nurturing the research ecosystem.
Visvesvaraya PhD Scheme has helped me in conducting my research, which has several societal applications like in mental health, disaster management, conversational agent, summarization, cancer prediction, etc. YFRF schema also helped me in attending several international conferences, and by which I have enhanced my knowledge.
The outcome of the scheme was excellent in terms of international publications and patents. Using the scheme and YFRF funding, we were able to tap out our ideas in the form of chips as shown in the experimental setup at the back. Moreover, the graduate students got offers from various reputed places like National Brain Research Center, Intel Bangalore, and postdoc positions at US and UK.
One of the recent devices which were based on biodegradable gelatin, they actually worked as real-time breath rate analyzers, and we find certainly a lot of applications towards smart and green electronics.
After receiving an overwhelming response from students and institutions during Phase 1, and with an ongoing need to boost the research base, Phase 2 of the scheme is being launched to support 1,000 full-time PhD candidates, 150 part-time PhD candidates, 50 young faculty research fellowships, and 225 postdoctoral fellowships.
Very good.
Thank you. Now I would request our Honorable Minister for Electronics and IT, Railways and Communications, Shri Vaishnaw to deliver his keynote address.
Thank you, Abhishek. Padma Shri Dr. K. Vijayaraghavan, Principal Scientific Advisor to Honorable Prime Minister. Shri Ajay Sahani, my colleague in the Ministry of IT, Electronics and IT. Professor Raghavan, officers, professors, Professor Muna, Professor Desai, and all other professors, scholars and friends. Visvesvaraya PhD Scheme is a manifestation of Honorable Prime Minister's vision of providing world-class education and encouraging world-class research and development to the lowest bottom of our society, to the people, to the students who never had an opportunity to go abroad and get the best of the education. It is that kind of scheme which supports the talent that we have in our country. I'm very happy to launch the Phase 2 scheme, and the results of the first phase are really encouraging, with 63 global patents, thousands of research papers in international journals, many products that we saw during this launch ceremony. The 97 institutions which are supporting this program are themselves benefited by this program, and it's a very good ecosystem which is getting created. I echo Dr. Sahni's sentiments that when one of the neighboring countries is producing more than 1,000 PhD scholars today, and US is producing about 1,000 PhD scholars, it's time that we also scaled it up massively, because we are going rapidly into high-tech industries, especially semiconductor manufacturing, telecom manufacturing. Very soon, in realization of Honorable Prime Minister's vision, we'll have our own 4G core network and 5G core network made in India, going to the world, which will be a huge phenomenal thing, which will require lots and lots of talented and well-trained scholars, what we are encouraging in this Visvesvaraya PhD program. Today is a special day, Honorable Prime Minister's birthday. If I speak in Hindi, एक ऐसे नेता जिनको अगर हम कहें तो युग पुरुष हैं, जो एक भारत के लिए अमृत काल के प्रणेता हैं, ऐसे नेता, ऐसे प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र भाई मोदी जी, जिन्होंने देश को, केवल देश को नहीं बल्कि विश्व को भी एक नई दिशा दी है. तो आज ये छोटा सा प्रधानमंत्री जी आपके लिए उपहार है, विश्वेश्वरैया PhD scheme. All the students who get, all the scholars who get support under this program, they will always remember that it was your birthday, जो हम सेवा सप्ताह सेवा के लिए मनाते हैं, समाज की सेवा के लिए मनाते हैं. It's your birthday on which they started this scholarship program. So thank you very much, all the professors, all the academic scholars, all the officers who have supported this program. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for the words of encouragement, and this will go a long way in motivating the research scholars who are present here today virtually. I also convey my heartfelt thanks to Professor Vijayaraghavan, Dr. Dr. S.V. Raghavan, our secretary, sir, senior officers, FA ma'am, Dr. B.K. Murthy, Rajendra Kumar, sir, colleagues in MeitY, all the team members of the Visvesvaraya PhD Scheme and Digital India Corporation, and all the distinguished guests and panelists, guests who had joined, professors, and our implementing partners across institutions across the country who have joined us virtually. I could see Professor Rajat Muna, and there are other distinguished guests who are there. So extremely thankful for your support and partnership in running this program, and wish, with the words which our distinguished speakers have given today, we will try to ensure the scheme is able to achieve its objectives. Thank you once again, everyone.
We are not able to hear you. I think you are on. Much better, much better.
Okay, sir. I'll just repeat. It is my privilege to extend a warm welcome to the Honorable Union Minister for Electronics and IT, Shri Ashwini Vaishnaw, the Honorable Chief Minister of Meghalaya, our own Honorable Minister IT here in Meghalaya, Shri Hamletson Dole, and the Principal Scientific Advisor, Dr. Vijay Raghavan, Dr. Raghavan, my colleague and batchmate, Jyoti Arora, the President and CEO, NETD, Abhishek Singh and his colleague officers, Dr. Satyanarayana, DDG and IC, and my own colleague here, government of Meghalaya. I'd like to take this opportunity to extend my congratulations to MeitY for the initiative taken to implement enterprise architecture and government, due to which the World Bank GovTech Maturity Index report released by World Bank yesterday, India has been ranked in the top quadrant as amongst the Group A countries. This has happened due to the vision and leadership provided by our Secretary MeitY and Dr. J. Satyanarayana. I'm happy to inform you that Meghalaya was selected as the first state in India in 2019. The MeitY project envisaged drawing up of a statewide architecture blueprint and pilot its implementation in the finance department. For the statewide architecture blueprint, we engaged KPMG as our consulting organization, and the implementation was entrusted to NIC Meghalaya, which was also supported by KPMG. Consequently, the ministry adopted the agile model, and we have made use of this model for achieving quick wins. Despite the constraints of the COVID-19, we are able to launch this integrated finance solution today. The presentation that will follow will explain the same, but the gist of it is that the planning and finance departments have been completely integrated, and we have brought two departments, tourism and soil and water conservation, on board. The net effect of this solution is that the process of sanction and release of funds, which would normally take anywhere between 4 to 6 months, can now be done in 4 to 6 days. So that is the kind of efficiency that this integration will bring. And this has been achieved by integrating 7 finance-related applications that earlier used to function in silos. Before I conclude, I would like to acknowledge the contribution of Shri Vinay Thakur and Reshma Agarwal from NEGD under the overall guidance of the CEO, Mr. Abhishek, Shri Pallab Shah, the SIO of NIC, Shri Timothy Dakar and his team, the SEMP head in Meghalaya, Shri Lingwa and his team, the KPMG team leader, Mr. Prasad Unnikrishnan and his team, and my own team here led by Dr. Vijay Kumar. Now I request Dr. Vijay Kumar, our Commissioner and Secretary Planning Department, to make a brief presentation on the MeitY integrated finance solution. Thank you. Am I audible, sir?
Yes. Yes, please. Yes, Vijay, please continue. Please share your slides and continue.
It will be better if you are closer to the mic, please, if there is a possibility.
I'm not able to share the screen.
Hosting, let's Can you make this system as host? Ramandeep Goel, RG.
He can speak. He can simply speak.
I think you can simply just speak about it and tell us the highlights.
Ramandeep Goel. Ramandeep Goel, attendees now.
Let's go ahead with this.
Fine, so while the presentation is up, I'll summarize. As our respected Chief Secretary mentioned, this is a 2-year journey. So we started off, in fact, we had a kickoff meeting with our Honorable Chief in August of 2019. So through various, this was it involved all the departments, 200 services have been prioritized. The blueprint for the Meghalaya Enterprise Architecture has been made, and now we are at finance solution architecture. this solution architecture has been now comprehensively designed and implemented both by NIC and another vendor whom we have onboarded. So to kind of put this in perspective, Meghalaya, if we think of the way in which proposals are sanctioned, it's a long, tedious process. As was mentioned, it takes almost 4 to 6 months, and a large number of people are just spending their time tracking proposals. I mean, in fact, it's embarrassing that even at the level of the Honorable Chief Minister, sometimes these files, people are going and complaining that my file is somewhere and we are not able to trace, and a lot of time at various levels. We have calculated almost about 120 man years is spent in tracking these files because there's no automatic tracking. Papers are moving from the directorate to the department, from the department to the finance department, to the planning department, to the planning department, to the finance department, and then again after the finance department, it is going back to the administrative department to get the sanction. The slides are up. So let's go to the slide I'm talking about. Next, just go to the next. Yeah. So this is the process I was explaining, sir. So this is a long, tedious journey of every proposal, which and now this whole process from the file system into an automated and integrated system has been done. Just go to the previous slide, please. So this is the system. This is the finance solution architecture that has been designed. So it has about 6, 7 different modules. So the brown ones are the brownfield. They were existing systems of the NIC, which we have improved upon. The beams is the budget management and the cash management system, which is again developed by NIC. The scheme management system is the system which we have developed on a very low-code platform, where all the departments of the government, as the respective chief secretary mentioned, 2 departments are now fully onboarded, but now all the 60-odd departments of the government will be fully onboarded, where from the lowest level, from the district level, is from where the proposal originates, till the finance department level where it is approved. Everything will be automated and everybody will be able to track where their proposals are and the average time where these proposals are stuck. Everything can be measured and there are dashboards to do that. And all these different systems are now integrated to a state integration platform. All of them speak through that platform. So we also have the core platforms in place. The SMS platform is there, the email platform. Of course, the e-Parichay and others have to be integrated. We are in the process of doing that. But this is the overall finance enterprise architecture that has been designed. Next. And the next. Yeah. So now we have all these all the 7 systems are integrated into one platform. Next. 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 Yeah. Here, if you can quickly show the snapshots of how the new system looks like. So at the directorate level, when the scheme is uploaded, in fact, now in the manual system, when proposals are proposed also, there's no way to categorize slot proposals. So here, of course, the budget information is pulled. Then each proposal is benchmarked against what SDGs it is achieving, what kind of budgeting have we done for the youth, for the women, the prioritized groups. Everything is done when the proposal originates. Next. So then when it goes to the department, everything is cataloged properly. It's a simple filing system. Approvals can happen very easily. Files can be pulled if they are stuck at a certain level. So it's a very easy kind of approval mechanism. Next. Planning. No, not. Back. Planning. Up. No, not that. So here, when the system approves, so everything, the budget head, the details, and how much is sanctioned, what was the budget head, and what is released, everything is communicated in the system. I mean, it's given in the scheme system. Automatically, the information goes into the budget system, where the cash management, cash release, everything is managed. Next. So the next. Finance. So here, this is the beam system, from where information comes from the scheme system into this system. Here, immediately cash can be released, the cash position that is there. In fact, today the finance department, we struggle a lot to understand our sanctions have been issued, how many sanctions are in the pipeline. So everything is kind of streamlined in this. On a dashboard, we can see what is the current cash, how much we are releasing, how much we should be releasing in the next week, month. Everything can be planned on this system. Next back. Administrative approvals, everything has been automated now. So these kind of approvals which are now given following the manual system are automatically generated, and they are pushed to the treasury, they are pushed to the administrative, the directorates, the billing system. So everybody has these sanctions handy, and they have unique sanction numbers through which the treasury system can decide whether it's a sanction or not, and then release the money. So this is the integrated system, and the benefits, as I already mentioned, we estimated that it will be, and with tracking, I think we estimate about 120 plus man years has been saved. And with dashboards in the finance department, again, we have people constantly doing Excel sheets of the cash position and all that also would be saved, and it will lead to overall improvement in governance. So these are other systems which have been again fully developed by NIC, the BEAM system, which I already explained, the e-billing system. And a very interesting one is the pensioner life recognition system, which has also been recently developed. Already about 10,000 pensioners have been onboarded onto this system. This is the last slide, and this is the way forward for us. So unfortunately, Aadhaar coverage in the state is not very high, so it's only 50%, but that is also picking up. But we are setting up the Aadhaar AUA in the state. Then all the 200 prioritized services which have been listed out and mapped in the MeitY process we'll start development of all those. The architectural building blocks I already mentioned about the e-Parichaya also be integrated. Then procurement of course infrastructure in the various departments. So we are hoping so will also be done, completing the entire implementation of the blueprint. I'll stop here. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Respected Minister for Electronics and IT Communications Railways, Shri Ashwini Vaishnaw ji, Special Secretary, and other distinguished people, and especially Shri J. Satyanarayana. Architecture is one of the driest things that one can do in government. And this is not even architecture. These are the principles that go into building the architecture, and architecture also not for a project, but for the city master plan. And then projects, when they come in, when the colonies or when the other things happen, they sort of magically align themselves together. So this is one of the most difficult things to do. So our first several decades, couple of decades in e-governance have been in letting 1,000 flowers bloom. So we have gone ahead with projects which are independent, which are siloed, which deliver results which are very specific and very focused, but they don't talk to each other. So the enterprise architecture approach is absolutely important to achieve a different sort of generation of results. And that is what has been attempted with the India enterprise architecture. And in that, the first pilot we have taken up to sort of showcase what is possible with this approach in Meghalaya. MS Rao ji himself led this exercise as President and CEO NEGD before Abhishek. And I think he also carried this along with him into Meghalaya. So under his guidance as Chief Secretary Meghalaya, also this has happened. And Honorable Chief Minister of Meghalaya has given amazing support to this. Because doing this is not just a simple project. It's sort of bringing the departments together. It's planning the entire enterprise ecosystem for Meghalaya and then implementing it bit by bit. So as we move forward, sir, I would also like to mention that we are moving from an enterprise architecture to what we now call an ecosystem architecture. So now we are planning domain ecosystems which transcend just a state government or anything that can be characterized as an enterprise. And a complete domain like healthcare or education or logistics or manufacturing or criminal justice system. For those, we really need to have ecosystems which are not just looking at what the government does, but looking at what everyone in India does in that domain. And how do we sort of knit or weave these together? That is now at a very advanced stage, and very shortly, sir, we hope to bring that to you for another round. But I must compliment everyone who has participated in this activity, and convey my gratitude to those that have contributed. Once again, one of the below the radar activities, not very visible, but very, very impactful and very important for us to achieve wonderful results in future. Very.
Thank you, sir. Request the Honorable Union Minister, MeitY, and the Honorable Chief Minister to kindly jointly launch the MeitY Integrated Finance Solution.
एक फोटो इधर से ले लो, ज्वाइंट आ जाएगी.
Sure.
Government of India, the Ashwini, Vaishnaw, the Honorable IT Minister, Government of Meghalaya, the Hamlet Dolingji, our Chief Secretary, Mr. Rao, the Principal Scientific Advisor to Prime Minister, Mr. Raghavan, our Secretary to MeitY Government of India, Shri Ajay Prakash Soniji, Abhishek Singh Ji, President and CEO of NEGD, and Shri J. Satyanarayan Ji, who has joined us from Hyderabad. I presume he remembers meeting me quite many years back. And all the other officials from NIC, KPMG, NEGD, and all the other departments who have joined us here today on this very, very important day. I won't speak much. We all know the importance of this. But just to get things into perspective, we happen to have a chief minister who started his own IT company and was the first ISP and internet service provider in 1999 in Northeast. So I had started my company here and was the first to apply for an ISP license in 1999. That's my background. But then, of course, I've been somebody who has been involved in IT a lot. We have a chief secretary who has been the CEO and of NEGD. And we have an entire team of officials who are very tech savvy. So obviously it was inevitable that we would move in this direction very fast. And we all realize the importance of this. Apart from the entire aspect of enterprise architecture, which obviously people who are in IT understand the importance of it, to be able to have a full blueprint of things before we go into individual components and then realize that it doesn't mix and match and doesn't work. So we realized and we felt, and with the support of Mr. Rao at that point, we were able to take the project forward as a pilot project in Meghalaya. And I must congratulate the team of MeitY and the IT department here, KPMG, NIC, for really implementing this in such a short span of time. And today, what we saw in the presentation of finance and planning, clearly it's one of the most important aspects for governance. It takes up most of the time and is connected to almost all departments. So once this is implemented, we will see the impact of this for the governance as a whole, and it will impact every single department in our state. So I really expect and I hope that we will be able to overall improve the delivery mechanism at the grassroots level, which has been one of the pillars of
of our objectives and visions when we took over the government, that we must improve the delivery in the state. And that's something I have been working on, and I'm happy that this is happening today. Just before I conclude, I want to also just say hello to Mr. Satyanarayan ji. I was not a member of parliament nor an MLA. I had met him that time in Hyderabad just because of my interest in IT and the e-governance. And those words he told me still remain in my mind. So it's so nice to see you again. And
thank you, sir. And I'm grateful to you, sir, for remembering.
Yeah. I still have the notes you gave me, by the way. At the same time, I would like to thank our Honorable Minister Ashwini Vaishnaw ji. In spite of the tight schedule, you have agreed to be here today. Today happens to be the birthday of our Honorable Prime Minister. So we would also like to dedicate this particular project to him from the people of our state. And it is his vision of ensuring that minimize the different, processes that are there in the governance, minimize it so that the efficiency of governance can improve. So it is in the vision that he has laid down in front of us. This is happening today. So this is a tribute to our great leader, our Prime Minister, who has really shown us the way. And once again, would like to thank entire team that has been involved in this. But we all know, this as a closing note, we all know technology is only as good as it works for us, it's adapted to us, and we use it. So therefore, it's very important that the training of the manpower that's going to run it has to be done properly. And every single individual involved, including the Chief Minister, must make sure that we use this continuously. And that's the only way to ensure that it succeeds. So once again, I would like to wish all of you very best. And thank you so much once again for this program. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I will now request the Honorable Minister for Electronics and IT, Shri Ashwini, to kindly give the keynote address.
Thank you. Honorable Chief Minister, Mr. Conrad Sangmaji, Honorable IT Minister of Meghalaya, Shri MS Rao, Dr. J. Satyanarayana ji, Shri Ajay Sahni ji, officers of MeitY, officers of Meghalaya, and distinguished guests. It's a great privilege to start and dedicate the enterprise architecture of Meghalaya, which is going to make a big difference in the governance. We are calling it MeitY. It's a very nice name. It's a great privilege to dedicate this to the nation on the day of our Prime Minister's birthday. So thank you, Honorable Chief Minister, for taking this initiative, making this happen. The Chief Minister of Meghalaya, Mr. Conrad Sangma, is a very dynamic Chief Minister. Whenever he comes to Delhi, the insistence and the ideas that he comes up with, it's a real phenomenon. What I wanted to share is that both of us went to the same school, Wharton School. So, UPenn. So it's a very nice thing to have dynamic young chief ministers who care about governance, who care about delivery of services to people, who care about realizing Prime Minister's vision of Digital India. Prime Minister's vision of Digital India is a very all-encompassing vision in which the focus of the entire program is the common man, the common person in a country, the common citizen. How we can make a qualitative difference in people's lives, that's the question that Prime Minister always asks whenever we take any program to him, whenever we take any project to him. And that's the focus that we are all trying to build, making sure that we make a qualitative difference in people's lives through governance, through our programs, through the projects, through the investments that we are making, through all the process engineering that we are doing. Very happy to share that recently the telecom reforms that we have done will have a very good impact on northeastern states, especially in Meghalaya, what my good friend Mr. Sangma last time we discussed. The sector has to become robust and healthy to be able to reach out to places like Meghalaya, which really need much better connectivity, which really needs much better IT services. So with your leadership out there, we will be able to achieve the vision of Digital India, and this software, or the enterprise architecture that we are launching today will only be the first step. I hope very soon all other departments will also be included in it. From our side, from the ministry, we are there to fully support you in all your initiatives. Whatever help you need, whatever support you need from NIC, from NEGD, from other branches of the government, we are always there with you, standing by you to make sure that the people of Meghalaya get the best of the services. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your kind words.
Thank you, sir, so much. As discussed earlier with you, connectivity is an issue. A lot of things are happening, but we may need to streamline a few things. And at the same time, we may require more support in order to be able to reach all the nooks and corners. So thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for your words and words of encouragement. And incidentally, Meghalaya is the first state to launch services under the enterprise architecture framework. And the experience of Meghalaya enterprise architecture for the financial services will go a long way in architecting similar projects that we plan to implement in other states as well as nationally. I would also like to convey my heartfelt thanks to Honorable Chief Minister Meghalaya, Shri Conrad Sangmaji, and his support for IT projects in Meghalaya has always been there, and we look forward to working for more such initiatives in Meghalaya. I'm also thankful to our Secretary, sir, to Chief Secretary Meghalaya, Ms. Rao, sir, and to our FA ma'am, and to Commissioner Secretary, Dr. Vijay Kumar, and I'm also grateful and thankful to Honorable IT Minister, Government of Meghalaya, without whose support implementing such a project would not have been possible. And I also thank the entire team at Meghalaya Enterprise Architecture under the leadership of Vijay Kumar, all those NIC of team members, SIO, who has been instrumental in making this project see the light of the day. I would also like to thank Satnarayana sir, whose leadership and whose guidance has been the moving spirit behind not only India Enterprise Project, but all many of our IT initiatives. We look forward to getting sir's advice, and he's always available on a phone or an email. And the kind
Special round of applause for
people call him the father of e-governance.
Yeah.
And I thank
inspiring person.
Yeah. And he has been, sir, always supporting us. In fact, we all have been exposed to e-governance through sir's leadership only, and we look forward to his guidance and advice in every point, this mark of the day. MS Rao, sir, of course, MS Rao, sir, has been, he initiated the project here and he's completing the project there. So a special thanks to you, sir. And special thanks to my own enterprise architecture team in NEGD, Vinay Thakur, Reshma, who have been working very hard. Pallab Saha, I don't know whether he's there today online or not, but he has been supporting us remotely from Bangalore in Meghalaya Enterprise Architecture Project as well as other projects. And of course, special thanks to the NIC team at Delhi, at Meghalaya for helping us see the light of the day. Thank you all once more.
Thank you.